Hello, everybody, and welcome to another tier list. Now, I was going to make a video on just talking about Book 2, Chapter 1. I was going to be talking about my opinion and adding more to it, and I was basically going to be talking about other people's opinions, other YouTubers' opinions, and basically going over the things I agree, disagree, talk about if Chapter 1 of Book 2 managed to succeed on being good or managed to fail. But after doing some thinking, I was thinking that why not just do everything that Mimic has done so far? Like chapter 1 through 4, Witch Trials, Hanchi's Request, Halloween Trials, Christmas Trials, and Book 2, Chapter 1. Why not just talk about all of them and just do a tier list and rank which ones succeeded and which ones failed? So I thought this would be a better idea, so that's what we're going to be doing. Now, the reason why I'm not going to be talking about Nightmare Mode is because not only I played only two Nightmare Modes, which is Chapter 1 and Christmas Trials, but I don't like them. I hate Nightmare Mode. I hate them with a burning passion, so we're not going to be talking about those at all. We're just going to be talking about the normal mode. Now, I'm hoping that we will have a good discussion on this topic. Now, I'm probably not going to be seeing some very nice comments on this topic, so I'm probably going to see my comments having wars on which chapters are good and which ones are not, and people arguing about points that I make against some of these chapters. So yeah, let's just get right into this. So first off, we got chapter 1. Now, this is the beginning. Now, this is where Mimic first start off, is chapter 1. Now, chapter 1 is a B tier to me. It's good. It's a good start. It has two mazes, not much story, and the monsters were all right. They weren't that terrifying. They weren't that scary, and the jump scares were mostly all right. It was a good start, and that's pretty much all chapter 1 needs to be for any game, is a good start, and then build up afterwards. That's basically what Mimic chapter 1 accomplished, so that's a good thing. So claps on that. It accomplished that. It was good, at least. So it gets a B tier, basically. Now, next up is chapter 2. Now, chapter 2 is better than chapter 1, in my personal opinion. I thought it was a lot more fun. It had a lot more stuff. It does have two mazes. Once again, it has two mazes. But it did have more gameplay into it. And I think it also had a little bit more story involved. I don't remember particular because I haven't played chapter 2 in like forever. But it did have two mazes. Has a lot of gameplay, especially in the beginning where this creature's walking through the library and you're going through the library as well. That's pretty cool. And it also has two mazes as well. So overall, it's basically chapter 1, but more gameplay and a little bit more scarier. So I'm going to rank it as an A tier. I think chapter 2 did build off of chapter 1 and did better, basically. So I think chapter 2 is better than chapter 1, in my personal opinion. And I think it deserves its A tier placement. And pretty much the mazes are easy to pass, so you don't have to worry about struggling through chapter 2. Chapter 1 2, you don't need to worry about struggling through these two. These two are practically easy to get past, so you shouldn't have a problem with them. Oh man, these two. I am going to be preparing to watch my comments turn to hell instantly. Chapter 3. So let's start off with chapter 3. Chapter 3 is not the worst chapter, but it's close though. Chapter 3 is not good at all. It has three mazes, which for one thing is too many. That's too many mazes right off the bat. You can't, like, two mazes ain't bad, especially if they're easy to pass. They're not that bad. But having three mazes that are incredibly hard to get past, that is boring. And that it just infuriates you. Especially the last maze where this monster literally runs fast. You can't outrun it and he will kill you really fast and you have to solve a stupid puzzle with the skulls. It's just, it sucks. The only reason it doesn't go to an F tier was because of one level, which was basically where you have to hide in the light and avoid the darkness while the monster is running around. Now that's cool. That was really cool. But the three mazes, garbage. They were horrible and really annoying to get past. and it really took me out of the experience. And yeah, like I said, chapter 3 just wasn't good in general. So chapter 3 is a D tier. I think it's a good placement for it. It's not an F because of that one level. So yeah. Now chapter 4. Chapter 4, F tier. Instantly F tier. It has 4 mazes. It literally has 4 mazes. And like the fourth maze is a boss battle too, and it will take you so long to beat this. And not only that, it is so infuriating that it will take you out of the experience, especially the mannequin area. If you're playing chapter 4 solo, I feel for you. I completely feel for you because chapter 4, going through this solo through chapter 4 is a nightmare. It's horrible. It is one of the worst experiences ever. Like, this was just plain out bad. And not only that, like the mazes, the big dude in that one maze, you could barely outrun him. You have to like get the pieces and you have to burn them and stuff. Um, yeah, he is so infuriating. Like, he is like one of the worst in the entire series. Like, the fact that you can barely outrun him and you can't hide from him either is just, that is such bad game design. And the boss fight is just another maze with hearts placed and you just cut them. Whoa, that is so much fun. Like, chapter 4 is just, like I said, it's just not good, man. Like, it's not good at all. I'd rather play chapter 3 again and again before I play chapter 4. It's just not good, bro. So chapter 4 is an F tier, one of the worst, in my opinion. Now, next up is Witch Trials. Now, Witch Trials is a surprise. It's actually a B tier. I actually enjoyed Witch Trials. You have one maze, and that's pretty much it. Then the second one is literally you just trying to get some items and going from point A to point B, basically. And then the third one is basically just you going to like a point and then solving a puzzle, and that's basically about it. And then you're just stealing, I think, mask from the witches or whatever they are in the part 3 section. So over and all, really good. Basically the same as the rest of the chapters. Not really much difference. It's still a lot of fun, enjoyable, easy to pass. So there's really no complaining about this one. It's actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it. So that's basically all I have to say about that. Oh man, Hachi's Request. Now, for people who don't know about this, now there's probably a lot of people that know about this because this did get released first before Halloween Trials. So pretty much everybody knew about this when it got released. So yeah, this is a complete F tier. This is probably the worst thing they've ever came out with. This is probably even worse than Chapter 4. So to even do the Hachi's Request, you have to find this guy that's in the bathroom of chapter 1. You basically, once you get the key, you unlock the doors, you walk out of the school, and then you go to the right to the bathroom, and this guy will spawn. But the problem is, he has a 25% chance to spawn. Now, whoever decided that is an idiot. Like, why would you make it 25% chance for him to spawn? That is just completely ridiculous. Like, imagine partying up with a bunch of your friends, right? And you go in to Mimic Chapter 1 just to do this request. If he's not there, you have to leave and then group up again and do the same thing over and over and over again until he spawns. Does that sound fun to you? Like, we haven't even got to the Hachi's Request and we're already having problems. And then we get into the gameplay itself, which is basically another thing that sucks. You have one life, and if you die, you either spend Robux or you have to go through that first process over again. Wow. That is such terrible game design. This is just the worst thing ever. It's complete garbage, and I hate it. I had to spend my own Robux just to beat it, and the lantern you get out of it is just not even worth it. It's garbage. F tier. It deserves F tier completely. Alright, so next up is the Halloween Trials. Now, other than the Hachi's Request being absolutely garbage, the Halloween Trials was actually good. It was actually way better than what I expected it to be. So let's talk about it. So for one thing, you cannot solo Halloween Trials. It's actually impossible unless someone has actually done it. Then congrats to you for actually beating it. But basically, for me, I'm not even gonna bother with solo mode, and I'm pretty sure most people didn't even bother trying solo mode because it is. I'm pretty sure it's impossible. But multiplayer though, this was a lot of fun. It was actually a lot more fun than what I expected. So basically you have three parts. One where you take an item, go from point A to point B, basically the same as the rest of these. Then you have to, and then part two, you have to light up a bunch of candles and keep them lit up as much as you can before the time runs out. And then third one, which is pumpkins. You keep the pumpkins lit up to stun the monster in there and keep them from awakening. That was a lot of fun. So I think this is probably the best thing that they have done so far. And not only that, you get two cool looking lanterns out of it at the very end of the day. So it's a lot of fun. It was easy to go through. So if you want some two lanterns, you can easily get through this with a bunch of friends and just have a blast. But sadly, you can't play it anymore because it's been gone and stuff. But it was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing through it with fans and stuff. It was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, Halloween Trials. All right, next up is Christmas Trials. Now, I was thinking about giving this an S tier, but I'm going to give it an A tier. Now, the reason for this is for two reasons. Now, one is since the house that you're going to is so small, uh, it's basically kind of a nightmare in a way because the AI is so random that he might go downstairs and when you're following him to go downstairs, he might turn around instantly and kill you. Like the AI is actually not very good. And that goes the same with most of the chapters in this game. The most of the AI in this entire Mimic series is actually terrible. So yeah, that's one reason, especially on the small map. Small map is absolutely terrible with AI, especially in the Christmas Trials. And then the second reason is when this first came out, when this Christmas Trials first came out, it came out bug filled. So that was a lot of fun. But it was still a lot of fun. Basically, the first part was you collect a bunch of toys. You just go around and collect a bunch of toys. Second part is basically the same. You get one item and you go to the sled and you repair it. It's basically point A to point B. I know I've been repeating that a lot, but it literally shows how samey most of this stuff is. And then the third one is collecting the key from the monster himself, which is this man right here. And then after that, you go and release the I think it was the elf or the Santa. I don't remember. Uh, but yeah, you release him and then you basically beat the game. So yeah, it's an A tier. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And that's about all I could say for that. And finally, we got Book 2, Chapter 1. Now, this one is really mixed. Now, I'm going to go really detailed and talk about this before I give my official ranking for it. So, I wish I could put it back down there, but we'll put it on B tier for right now. Now, this is really mixed, okay? Now, now, one YouTuber said that this game, or Chapter 1, looked really cheap. In my opinion, it doesn't look cheap. It actually looks better than all of these chapters and events. It looks better than all of them. I think more money was put into this. My main issue with the reason why Chapter 1 kind of fails in a way was because of how big of a time waster it is. And the reason why it's a big time waster was because of either it's the AI that is keeping you back, or it's because of the game not telling you what to do. Like I recently just got a comment not too long ago of someone saying that the reason why it took them 2 hours to beat it was mostly because of the painting area. They didn't know that they had to do the painting mini game because the game doesn't tell you that you have to do the painting mini game. So literally, once you go in that painting room, you're going to be spending most of your time in there, and then you won't realize, oh, I got to do this mini game to actually finish this painting room. Like that's just bad game design right there, man. Um, but yeah, people said that they encountered bugs. When I was playing through this, I've only countered two and technically one, I guess. Basically, one bug I countered was that basically I fell off a cliff, and after I fell off a cliff, basically what happened was I kept falling and dying over and over and over again. And at first I thought I had to I was gonna be forced to restart my game, which that would have really upsetted me and took me out of the experience. But luckily, the game fixed itself, so that was good. The second bug I encountered was during the ship, the bottom floor monster. The bottom floor monster, for some reason, kept teleporting back and forth over and over and over again. And I thought he was broken until he fixed himself. But yeah, he kept teleporting back and forth. Now, this other bug, I guess I'll count it as a bug. But the blob managed to kill me through the elevator, so that was annoying. And that's about all the bugs I countered. Now, there's some people that's countered game-breaking bugs like the black screen of death, where if you die, the screen goes black and then it's basically it. You're kind of have to restart your game. And then there's an inventory bug where your inventory doesn't show at all. So there's some bugs in this game that, got released. And like one of my friends have, YouTube friends made a point about, the Cat Puros. He basically said, no, it was Searcher. Basically, the Searcher, who's another YouTuber, he made a good point about this. He said, how come a game with 3 to 4 delays came out with bugs? And that's a good point. How come a game that got delayed 3 or 4 times, this got delayed 3 or 4 times, it was supposed to be released a lot earlier, but it got delayed about 3 times, and it came out with bugs still? How? How did it come out with bugs? I don't understand how you still came out with bugs with this. I just don't understand. You delayed it to make it better, but it still came out not that very good. So you get what I mean? Like, it's good, but it's not good at the same time. So it's mostly mediocre. It's mostly a mediocre chapter. It's good, but it's also bad at the same time, in my opinion. Like the Cat Purist put it, this chapter had potential to be good. This chapter had potential to be the best. But because of the developers releasing it so early, it didn't become better. In fact, it became a lot worse than it should. It shouldn't have gotten a lot worse. It should have became better. So that is my entire opinion on it. So in my opinion, it's mediocre. It's good and it's bad at the same time. And it sucks too, man, because this could have actually been the best chapter. But I think what happened was, since they delayed it 3 or 4 times, I guess they just didn't have the time to continue to work on it a bit more. And they decided to just say screw it and just release it anyway, which I wish they would have just hold it out just a bit longer. And I believe this would have been the best chapter in the entire series. But that sucks, man. So there you go. Those are all of the Mimic chapters and events ranked. And I agree with most of this. I think the Halloween Trials, in my opinion, are the best. Chapter 2 and Christmas Trials are A tier. I think they were great. And Chapter 1 and Witch Trials are B tier. They were good. I had some fun with them. Chapter 1, like I said, mediocre. It was good and bad. Chapter 3 is not the worst, but it was still pretty bad because of the 3 mazes and how terrible the gameplay was. Same goes with Chapter 4. It basically took Chapter 3 and made it worse. And then this was just horrible. This deserves its own tier itself. It literally deserves its own tier because of how it's a lot worse than Chapter 4 in my opinion. Other than that, that is pretty much it. That is basically all my opinion on the entire Mimic trilogy. So hopefully we can have a good discussion about it and hopefully talk about this in a good manner. Probably not. There's probably going to be still some people that are going to not agree with me. Like there's going to be some people that's going to say that this was great or this was good or this was good. And like I said, if you like these 3 right here, that's fine. Okay, just talk about it in a good manner. Don't go and call me I don't know, like a dickhead or a piece of shit just because I ranked these three at bottom tier. Like, it's just my opinion, okay? You know, my opinion does not affect your life, okay? But that's pretty much it, guys. That was me ranking all of the Mimic Trials and events. I would like to hear your opinions on what you think each of them should be ranked at. Which one would you change? So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the tier list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm Mr. Arcdoom, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.